Hi guys, welcome to today's tutorial. In today's tutorial, we learn how to create these clocks in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So I have three variants of this clock, and you can see the real-time changes here for the second, for the minute, and for the hour. So buckle up and let's go ahead and start our code. So first, we need to start with our titling. So title clock, our div container. So div container. This is where my main hands will go. And I have three of these, so I will be using times three. So changing them back to what they are. So this should be R. So I have millisecond R. But I always forget I don't want to be using display or div. I want to use span. So this span, I'm going to give it a class of cover. It's going to be this dot that is covering them. So I'm going to hold shift control and D to select the div, then change it back to span. So now I can go ahead and start my style. I'll do in-text styling as always. So remove defaults, paddings, and margin. Let's go on and style our main hand. So now let's style the individual child elements. So what you're going to do is you're going to give them some width. So a width of 3 pixels. So now I'm going to change each individual style, give them some unique colors. Hold Shift and Alt to duplicate. Yellow, brown. Alright, so there's one last thing we'll do here. Transform origin. We're going to do bottom center. And this is what it will do if we were to comment this and do a rotation property on one of this. So transform, rotate, let's say 35, 45 degrees. See how it will rotate here. But when we add this, now we remove the pivot point. So now it rotates above this axis, but in the center again, now about the bottom. So bottom center. So in the center of the bottom. That is it. So that's how this works. Alright, so we are done with this. We have to add other styles that will be added later on. So text. So with this text, we'll be adding it through JavaScript. So don't worry, we will do that very soon. I forgot one thing here. I want to add a background blur. So backdrop filter. I'm going to do blur. The blur is going to be about 5 pixels. You can see it. Yes, applied. Now we are going to add our JavaScript. So I'll also add it in my HTML. So called second. So here we're going to be document dot query selector. Hold Shift Alt and duplicate. Change this to minutes. So minutes. To make this easier, you select this, then you hold Shift Control then D to select, then change them to hour, then change this to main hands, then you come back here and change this one to main hands. Alright, so we're going to use the for loop to create the text inside the clock. So for let I equal to 0 for now, and we are going to do I less than 60 because 159 text will go about 59 again, and we're going to iterate increment I plus plus. So we're going to do const what you call text. So document dot create element. We're going to create a div. We're going to add a class. So text dot class. Oh, what is this? So we're going to do text dot class list dot add. So we're going to add the class list tick. So once we are done, we're going to do text dot style dot transform by text. Backtext. So we use backtext to do rotate. And what you're going to do is you're going to take I and multiply it by 6 degrees, since each of this is going to move 6 degrees. So now we are going to append it in our viewing, and let's append child text. So now you can see it here. So what we are going to do is we're going to style it so that they appear here. So we've already given this position relative, position absolute. So we're going to do transform origin, we're going to do center, and half of 500. So let's do 249 to 48 pixels. And now we have it. Then we can go on and do left 50%. Now everything is centered here beautifully. Alright, so that is it for now. But I would like to do some if statements. So if conditions. Say if our I, when we modulus, we do a modulus against 5, we get a return value of 0. Then we want to say we want to add text, a class to text. That's class list. Let's add. And we'll call it nums because you remember we created nums. So it's going to change everything that is nums here. Alright, then we're going to go on save. Text. So now we have it inside here. Alright. But once it's 0, then 0, we don't want it. So we're going to say if I ever becomes 0, then just change our text content to 12 so that it works. We are done. Now our text are going to be alright. So we'll go on and now make our hands move. So the clock hand, we want it to be moving. So I'm going to give this a Z next 2000. Right, so how you make them move is simple. So I'm going to start with, I like to call my function. So alright, so I'll call them before I create them. This is called hoisting. So you're allowed to have hoisting with this kind of function. All right. Now we're going to create date, but we'll have to create our timer, and we are going to integrate. So every second we want to run this function. All right. So we're going to run this function here. So we're going to do const date. So we're going to create a new date. So new classes. If you've done classes, you should see this date. So once you're done with the new dates, you're going to arrange the structure. All right. So we can go on and use our set time. So we're going to set this value rotation, and we're going to do some small math here. So set time, we're going to multiply it by our 6 degrees so that our timer hand here can be moving through easily. So because this will be coming at 1, 2, 3, 1 hours is not 1, 2, 3, 6, 6, 12, 18. Yes, continue as that way. So we do this and we go on and say now it started to move. And the reason why I came here is because it's picked the time directly from the system and it's using it. All right, let's go on with the next function. So I'd like to duplicate, hold shift, alt, and duplicate. So we change this to main move. Now we're going to get date. So now we're going to use main. So here we'll put this in brackets. But for now, here to use main move, main time, sorry, we're going to multiply it by 6 because that's 6 degrees. And we're going to go ahead and now what we'll be doing here is before this, we're going to include a division. So you're going to divide this by 60 seconds, because there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. So 60 divided by this times 6. Then we should get our minutes. So our minutes are going to start moving very soon. Let's put this minute so that we stop destructing our second hand. So we have this, and we are going to divide by do a modulus. So modulus by 360, because it's going to rotate 360 degrees. And then we are done. So I didn't add it. So we should be addition here. So addition, and now we have our main block and at the right place. So next one will be yeah. All right. So we are doing our move. So that one we'll do before we add our move. Then do bracket our time. We have 12 hours, so we are going to do the modulus divided by 12. So divide by 12. Then now, because the hour will move from here to here, we are going to this is 6, 12, 18, 24, and we go on to 30. So 30 here. So 6, 8, 12, 18, 24, 30. So we're going to multiply this by 30. So multiply by 30. I don't know if you get it mathematics. So we'll be moving 30 here. Forget it. It's because I'm using the minutes here. Let me change it to hour so that we stop destructing our time here. So 30, if then we multiply by 30. We've done that because we have to move it to this lane. All right. So let's see how we do this. So here for minutes, we have 60 minutes. So we have to divide by 60, making 1 hour. So we divide it by 60. And we multiply it by the 30. So because 30 degrees, 30. Then we'll go on with the second, there's 3,600. We'll multiply it by 30. Then we'll do, of course, our 360. And now we have our time set and done. So it's going to move bit by bit. till we get to our 12 o'clock. So this is the current time here, and you can have it too. I'm going to style my cover, position absolute, background color orange, width, I want to make it a bit bigger. So this is already showing. And we want to do a border radius. Now we also want to do another 10 here by transforming it, so let's 50%. So instead of 50, I'm going to go with 47, and here I'm going to go with top 47, and should come in between here. So then we'll give it a z index of 100,000, so that it covers what you have here. But I tell you the left is too small, so I'm going to go with 48. That is centered. So now it's centered and it's covering them. So that's the pointer. So now it's 12 o'clock exactly on my phone. So the time says 12 o'clock, and it says 12 o'clock here too. So it's reading the time correctly. And you this is how you can do this with HTML and CSS. You can go on and style it to your preference. It's all dependent on what you want to do. So you can go ahead and do bolding my text. I can go ahead and give my second hand a z index so that it can appear up to 10,000, so that it will be above all its other elements. So that is it. This is how to create a standing clock effect using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. One last thing I also forgot to talk about in the tutorial is, see, when we always refresh it, it has to start from the origin. To prevent this, we will have to copy the code here. So as you will do, you hold Control, then you click, so left click, then you drag. That's plus sign by the cursor shows that it's a copied one, then you paste here. So you see that the one pasted doesn't experience the refresh. So let's do same for the rest. So I'm going to go ahead, hold Control, click, and drag to the top. So we can do that for all, and they will now stop reacting to the refresh. So Control, click, drag. Alright. So now you see when it refreshes, comes back to the normal position. It doesn't have to go and rotate to the original position, which was 00, and now it picks the time directly. So here it picks the current time and it works with it. So we work with the current time here. So this is a little I wanted to let you know. I'll catch you in the next tutorial. I'll catch you up in the next tutorial. Please do also subscribe and like this video, and also comment your ideas if you have any way of doing this clock or making this clock with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.